Uh, don't worry, this isn't the only video I'm posting today. In fact, I have videos scheduled all the way through New Year's. That's almost a week, guys. I'm back. We're back. The daily uploads are back. No, they're not. I'm sorry. This is a Kraft macaroni and cheese plushie. It's awesome, is what I'm trying to say. It's awesome. This is awesome. The video title is Why I Like to Work. And the communists in the comment section are probably like, how can a man like to work? Working sucks. And the thing is that working does suck. But like, it's fulfilling. See, the number one reason to like to work is you get paid. All right. So when you start out as a youth, as a rambunctious child, you are paid the bare minimum. I don't really count the like 3 months that I was doing I don't even think it was 3 months that I was doing a paper route in eighth grade. I don't count that as employed. But um, but I do count. I completely lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. The reason I'm making this video is because I waited to take my pills. So now I'm just tired, but like not gonna be able to go to sleep. If I were to go lay down, I'd be laying there for about an hour, probably. Or yeah, somewhere around there. Because I forgot to take my pills at the right time. I was too busy coding. That's what I was doing today. Um, the main reason to enjoy work is to get paid. Now, when you start out as a rambunctious child, like I said, I was 15. It was exactly 1 month after I turned 15. Um, it was May 24th, 2012, and I got my first job, my first actual job. I had to do the paperwork. I had to put down references. It was fun. It was a fun application process. But anyway, um, yeah. And I started at the minimum wage, which is still 7.25, and this is 2012 money, so worth more than what we have now. But anyway, I started at the bare minimum, and I still remember for the first day that I was there. I still remember the first day I was there. We did shelf stuff because this was a grocery store, and like one of the fucking cash register people that I think quit like a day later was like, "I like this kid. He's ready to work," and I'm like, "Hell, goddamn, yeah, I am. Yeah, keep saying that. I'm gonna be working even more. Look where I am now." But yeah, but like the first paycheck that I ever got was after I mowed my dad's works lawn. They provided the lawnmower. They provided gas for the lawnmower. All I had to do was drive around with my iPod what's it called? Nano. The classic iPod Nano, not like the LSD strip one. No, like the rectangular like mini MP3 player looking thing. It was green. I think I still have it actually. Um, yeah, and they paid me $75 to mow this little patch of grass, and it took maybe 25 minutes. I would always ask my mom to put new music on my iPod before I went because I was like, yo, you got to get that new Nickelback album on, okay, mom. But yeah. Um, but when I was working at the grocery store the first time, I start out at 7.25. But the thing is that being a dependent made that not the worst. Okay, so I had people paying for where I lived, had people paying for my food, had people paying for the heat, which didn't work in the basement where I lived. Didn't fucking work down there. It would get so cold, dude. I distinctly remember I was playing Gran Turismo 3. I was doing the endurance race at the Tokyo track. I was driving a Toyota GT1, but not the race car. I was driving the road version of it because I don't think you can have any upgrades to enter that race. And I remember I was, oh, was that the 787B? That might have been the Mazda 787B, or I won the Mazda in that. The point I'm trying to make is that after that race was over, it took like 2 hours. I was literally shivering. I have not been that cold in my own home ever since that moment. I was literally shivering. It was wild. Teeth were chattering and everything, dude. It was absolutely mad. But so getting a small paycheck as a dependent is not the worst thing in the world because you have all of the important stuff covered. So it's not like you're trying to live, like this. Not trying to live like this on 7.25 an hour. And of course, like I wasn't I was we were the cleanup crew basically. The high school kids came in and they worked 4 to 8, or I couldn't do that because labor laws. I couldn't work past 7 p.m. until I turned 16. So I was always like, "Yo, boss." I don't want to say his name because I don't want to implicate him. They're good guys. I love my first job. Um, he said, I told him like, if you want me to stay until 8, I can. And he was like, no, labor laws exist. And I was like, oh. And I was like, fuck labor laws. I want to work till 8. I want to get paid that extra $7. That makes a difference, dude. But yeah, so we'd work, and like I worked most nights because I wanted money. But I always asked for Sundays off though, because NASCAR is more important, or at least it was at one point. At one point, NASCAR was more important than work, but not anymore, it ain't. um, so I was basically working every night 4 to 7, dude. And it's like, oh man. But like the thing about that is that I wasn't getting paid that much. I was only putting in, barely any time per week. I was getting maybe 40 hours a paycheck instead of 40 hours a week. But it was still a significant amount of money. I was still able to afford my first computer and um how much did I spend on the Corolla with the spoiler? It didn't come with the spoiler. I had to add that. It was a needed addition though. Um, I don't remember how much I put down on that because I know that my parents paid for the rest, but I had to pay them back over the course of like a year. Like every month, I'd just hand my mom $200 and be like, but I want to say I don't think I put anything down on that. I think I had to pay like the whole $2,000 back at like over the course of a year is what I'm trying to say. I'm pretty sure that's how that went. But I was able to, fucking afford those payments. The bank wouldn't have done that. But still, I was still able to afford that. I was still able to afford to pay $200 per month to my mom and save up money for my first computer, which was $900. You know? And yes, this is living under a dependency, right? But like after about 3 months, I got raised to, I want to say that was when I got raised to $9. And I stayed at $9 until leaving for college. And then I came back for Christmas because I was at home for Christmas, a month off of school with literally nothing else to do. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go work for this week. And my boss fucking came in and he told me they gave us a raise. There was multiple of us that came back that winter. And he was like, yo, guys, you didn't have to come back, but you did. So here's a $2 raise. And I'm like, sure. Okay. I'm not saying no. And those were some of the fattest paychecks that I ever got because I was working actual full-time hours just because, I could. And yeah, that was great. Making $11 an hour and putting in 40-hour weeks. That was the most that I'd worked up to that point in my life, dude. And it was great. It was great. I made so much bank. I made so much bank. And then I went back to college and didn't work, so it kind of depleted. Kind of defeated the purpose, but hey, what you gonna do? And then we came back and that summer, and then the grocery store had new owners, and I was like, well, this sucks, and it was awful, it was terrible, but they were still paying me $11, and it was like, thanks, old bosses. This is the reason why you're so good, because they look back at my old files and they were like, well, they were paying him $11 an hour. I guess we have to do that too. They didn't have to, but I'm not mad that I didn't. Yeah. But yeah. But that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make, is that when I started working at the old hotel, I started pretty low, but then I worked up to $13 an hour, and then they gave me a huge raise of $2 whole to go work at the restaurant for that 1 year, and I was like, so, and then I started putting in, 100-hour pay periods, and I was getting fat money, fat money. Do you want to know how I was able to afford to buy that charger? It was some fat money. Like it wasn't anything spectacular, obviously. Like I'm not exactly, like rolling in money. I mean, do you see this place? Do you see this place? TV. That did not pay for that TV. I did pay for that. This has nothing to do with the video, but it's still really good. The point that I'm trying to make is that I was able to live comfortably. That's a good word for it. I was able to live comfortably, and if I had not gone to college and I just fucking worked there my entire life instead of bothering with that bullshit. Oh my god, dude, do you have any idea the kind of money I would have? Because I have to dump so much of it into fucking bullshit loans, and I have to do that again now starting next month. Thanks, Biden. Thank you for pulling through with your campaign promise to relieve some student loan debt. I appreciate it. Good shit. Good shit. That was a really good policy. Good job. Good job. Much appreciated, you fucking failure. But yeah. So the main reason to enjoy work is to get money. Money is good. Money is very, very happy. It does not make the world go round, but it does fund the machines that make the world go round. So it's like kind of does. Another reason to enjoy work, though, is the reason why I'm making this video, and it's because it's entertaining. Okay, going to fucking work can be stressful and it can get annoying after a while, but sometimes you just kind of have to sit back and just bask in the insanity. Cause it's like ever since like the old hotel and the new hotel, I'm like getting my first glimpse into how this bullshit runs. Like when you're a starry-eyed child and you're just walking through the grocery store and you're looking at all the shit on the shelves and you're like, wow, someone really smart must be doing all this to make this work. And then you get old enough to work, and then suddenly you're the manager and it's like, oh, wait a minute. I have no fucking idea what's going on at all. It just works. Everyone likes to dunk on what's his name from Bethesda, who said in the E3 thing, he was like, it just works. That's life. It shouldn't work, but it does. And yet reality. It's insane, because there have been so many times when I thought that the old hotel was going to collapse in on itself and everything was going to fall apart. And like basically every month I was worried. I was getting paid, comfortable amounts of money, but I was still worried that the place would close down on any given day. It could just happen one day. And it hasn't. It still hasn't. I'm gone and it still hasn't. That's what surprises me the most, is that I left and it's still running. But yeah. Yeah. It's just fun to sit back and just be like, this place is like this. Everywhere else in the world is like this. It's just everything is hanging on it's just teetering on the edge of disaster on any given minute of any given day. One thing could push everything off and the entire economy will collapse. And it just could happen someday, but it hasn't happened yet. So it's like, shit, let's just roll with it. Basically, my life philosophy since starting at the old hotel was just roll with it. Just like there's no reason. There's no reason to get caught up in petty bullshit that doesn't matter. And that's another reason to enjoy working, is because there's a lot of petty bullshit. Okay? Now, petty bullshit sucks when you're involved in it, but when you're just a bystander with your popcorn and you're just there for the show, it's pretty fun. Literally, I've worked at 4 notable places that I would consider that I've worked at. The old grocery store, the new grocery store, the old hotel, and the new hotel. Those are the 4 places that I've put, emotional investment into. Not the new grocery store. I put no emotional investment into it. That's kind of where I learned this the first time. It's because I was finally out of high school and I could see petty bullshit for what it was. Every single job that I've ever worked, there has been someone who said, I have never had a job like this. And they are referring specifically to the nonsense, to the sheer nonsense that makes absolutely no sense. All four of them, someone has come up to me and been like, what the fuck is this shit? And it's like they've never seen anything like this. They've never had a job like this. And it's like, bro, I have. And I'm always just like, oh yeah, I know, right? Yeah, yeah. I'm always very much in agreement. I'm a very agreeable person. I've noticed that keeps the bullshit levels down. All right, all right. It's like there's some people out there that are just, natural magnets for nonsense. I might be one of those people, but like I'm just a bystander. I'm just a bystander. Like it's not directly involving me. Okay? It's indirectly involving me. Okay? No. No. I don't think I've ever been a part of petty bullshit. I'm pretty sure I've never been like involved in petty bullshit. It's just like if you ever get an insane manager, just play everything straight. Okay, that's what I did. So like every time that I have to deal with someone or like in management that is certifiably insane, like could be diagnosed as a schizophrenic on any given day, I'm just always like, yep, everything makes perfect sense here. This is absolutely normal, And then they like me. They like me because I don't do the petty bullshit. It's weird. It's weird how that works. Have I ever told you the story of how the like corporate like what's it called, PR person, kind of marketing head or whatever, at the old hotel, like was in handcuffs. Like the police officer came into the building, pointed her out, and slapped the handcuffs on her with barely any words exchanged. I was not there that day. But like that, and that was supposed to be my shift. I should have been there that day, but then the schedule was fucked up for some reason, and I wasn't there. I should have been there. I should have witnessed this, and yet I didn't. So yeah, that's just kind of how it is. It's just like, on any given day, your manager could just get arrested, and then, you're kind of shit out of luck, and it's just like someone has to step up. I've never stepped up. I've noticed that, not being in a managerial position has made my life a lot easier. I have been like, manager in name only on occasion. And whenever I put that hat on, it was never a good thing. There is never a good reason. But the point that I'm trying to make is that just being able to sit back and just watch adults act like 8th graders, it's wild, dude. There's shit that I've seen that no one should see. That no one in any reasonable position in their life should have to deal with. And yet I just roll with it. It's just like, who cares? Who cares? If this person hates me today, it literally doesn't matter. That could change tomorrow. They could be fired tomorrow. Or they could be manager tomorrow and fire me. It really doesn't fucking matter, honestly. None of this shit matters. Caring really, there's no good reason to care, okay? Now, you see, what I usually do is like, I have not cared since I started using the internet. So about, right like in the middle of freshman year, like I was on the internet for about a year at that point, and I was like figuring things out, and it's just like, it's the same cycle over and over and over. None of this shit matters. None of it. None of it. Who cares? Who cares, dude? Who cares if Sandra from accounting thinks that you're a bitch? Because it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't fucking matter, dude. And none of that matters. None of that matters. The way that I go through my life at work is that what my goal at work is to do the least amount that I can. Okay? I'm going to do everything good. Okay? I'm going to give 100% at work. But I'm not going to give 101%. There's no point. There's no point. You're only making it worse on yourself. And when I say that, is that what I'm trying to say is that I want to make my experience at work as easy as possible. It's just a coincidence that as a result of that, I naturally have to make sure that every customer is satisfied and like the back end is functional and like, everything makes sense, on the operating systems and the money and all the money makes sense and money's accounted for and all of it's streamlined. Just my goal is to not do work at work. Okay? That's my goal. And it just so happens that to achieve that goal, I just need to make it a well-oiled machine. I like that's the purpose. That's the purpose, is to make work function. And I think that is the reason why a lot of the people that I've worked for really like me. Because it looks like I give 110% and it looks like I'm really attentive to my work and it looks like I'm giving everything that I can while on the job. No, I'm doing the bare minimum. It just so happens that the bare minimum, coincidentally, is all this shit that makes the, everything work. Everything, keep everyone happy. Keep the maximum amount of people happy. Maximize happiness, maximize streamline. And like there's still shit that I learned at the old hotel that I'm still applying to this new one to this day. And like I always was confused as to why people like me so much when I'm at work. I think the logic has kind of just I've espoused it for the last 3.5 minutes. I understand now. Is what I'm trying to say. Is that's the reason why everyone likes me. It's because of that. Yeah. But as I said, just don't get involved in the petty bullshit. Watch it from a safe distance. Keep petty bullshit at an arm's length. All right. All right. That's basically my that's basically this video. Is there any other good reason to work? It takes away the monotony. That month where I didn't have to work due to the plague, where the hotel shut down and I was unemployed for a month, that was good. I mean, I didn't do shit. I made an entire album. I did the majority of that album in December of 2019. Okay? So, I was working then. I was on the job. That was the era of 100-hour pay periods. And I made that entire album in that month, like at least 6 out of the 9 songs on there. And like it's not great. It's not a great album. I definitely could have done more, but I wanted to get it out before 2020. And yeah. It was good. Yeah. We did good. I did it. My next album will not be as shit. I promise. From the bottom of my heart. But like that entire month where I wasn't working and I could have done all that, I didn't. I literally I think I played Dead Rising. I think that's the extent of the content that I made for YouTube during that period. I didn't make music. I didn't write. I didn't make, any other money besides AdSense during that time and unemployment. I missed out on 3 weeks of the unemployment. And like the second that I figured out, oh, you're supposed to do this, and this to get unemployment benefits. So I got one unemployment paycheck, which was really fat. And then they called me back like, hey, we're opening up again. I'm like, why? Yeah. But it's good. Working is good for a person. I've said it in several videos, and that's why I'm making this video, is that work is a good thing. Okay? Productivity is a positive thing. I don't care about these fucking socialists on Reddit that make fake phone text messages between them and their boss about them being unreasonable. And it's like, some of those are real. Some of those are real. The vast fucking majority of those were not real. Okay? Okay? No actual society functions like that, okay? I've had managers that will, be complete and utter cunt fucks, but they won't do shit like you see in those fucking texts, okay? Half of those are fake. The vast majority of those. I don't care what they say. Working is a good thing. Being productive is good. And like the thing is that I think the reason why my YouTube channel is as strong as it is now is not, you know, because of being on the night shifts. It's like I've barely made any videos at work for like the past month or two. I think the last one that I actually made like in full at work was the story time video before or after the Vickers video. It's one of those two. It's like I'm doing more stuff outside of work now. I'm finally writing again. I'm finally, making. I've put together like the framework of the next album, and I could have, finished it by now. But like, does it look like I'm making music? And yeah, things are looking up. I don't think working has anything to do with why I'm so happy right now in life. I don't think it has anything to do with that, in fact. I think I would be happier. I think I would be happier if I didn't have to go to work every single day. But like, the thing is like, I don't do much. I do everything that matters. I quietly correct everyone else's mistakes. And I don't even do that to save their asses. There have been many people that I have wanted to, for them to get fired because they're insufferable or they're insane. I've wanted, some people to get fired, but if they ever make a mistake, it's like, oh shit, well, this is my problem now. So I solve the problem, and then like I don't even mention it to the bosses because by then it's 7 a.m. and I don't care. The only thing that I care about when I get off work is going to bed. So like if I have a grievance, I don't take it up with anyone because I'm too tired to. I'm too happy to see them. They're the reason that I get to go home and go to sleep. I'm too happy to see them, to argue with them about petty bullshit. See? We're tying it all back together. Yeah. So I quietly fix all their problems and all their mistakes, and everything looks cool, and I never mention it because I don't care enough to. It's just like, I don't care. They're gonna get fired at some point anyway. It's like, I don't have to get involved in that. It's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. Yeah, but shit's wild. Like I said, people, everyone, all four of those jobs that I mentioned before, there's been someone that's told me, I've never worked at a place like this. This is insane. Nothing makes sense. It's like, I mean, every place has had their own personal brand of insanity. Every place has had, their own touch. It's a localized insanity. It's not the same insanity everywhere you go, but it's still insanity. You can still point it out and be like, that's not normal. But then it gets to a point where it's like, okay, I've worked at all these places and they're all, like this, but in different ways. It's like, is society really just hanging on by a thread at all times like this? Yes. The answer to that question is yes. So that's why, I mean, I'm not an asshole in real life. I mean, I'm an asshole on the internet, but I'm not an asshole in real life. Like if I go to fucking Walmart, whenever I go to the drive-through, the person gives me the food and they barely ever say anything. They're like, here, take it. And I'll be like, thank you very much. It's just like that. It's just like that. It's just like, you are working, all right? That alone is a good thing in this day and age. But you are working. You are putting your neck on the line to serve me, okay? Some fuck that you're never going to see again, most likely. You clearly do not care for me. Like I'm just annoyance, okay? Customers are annoying and they're a nuisance. The fact that I'm here right now is an impediment to your happiness. And yet you're still going to give me top quality service. You're still going to give me exactly what I want. You're going to give it to me the exact way that I want it, and you're going to do it with a fake, but it's still a smile on your face. I have to extend the same courtesy because people who put effort into their lives and are willing to work and are willing to do a good job, they deserve appreciation, okay? I'm not saying that everyone that has worked in the past, 2 years at any point in time should be given a participation trophy, should be given a giant, metal placard that says, "I was useful. I was not a drain on society for one moment." But still, the fact that you're willing to put yourself out there like that, I think should be appreciated. I do. I think it should be the bare minimum. People should work if you have the fucking capability to. You should. But even if you choose to, even if you don't choose to, it should be appreciated. It's like everyone hates working. So why make their lives worse while you're being served by them? That's kind of what I'm thinking. It's just like basic fucking common courtesy, but like I'm doing mental gymnastics to try and explain it in a rational thinking philosophy way. I didn't want this channel to become a philosophy channel, but it may. The thinking chair, this segment that I do, when I can't sleep. This wasn't supposed to be the point of the channel, but it's like, I like making these videos. I like just extrapolating into the camera. That's one of my favorite things to do. It's just, I don't fucking talk to anyone. Okay? When I'm at a place, like, I know that people don't want to fucking talk to me when they're, coming into anywhere. So, like, I just use the minimal amount of words necessary and just kind of sit back and listen. You listen. You listen. I don't know how fucking deaf people are, but it's like people will talk shit in front of you. People will talk shit directly to your face, and you won't even pick up on it. You have to listen. Listening is one of the most important skills that you can develop in this day and age. Okay? And just me sitting back my entire life and not actually caring and not wanting to participate. Just sitting in the back here. My macaroni guy is gonna fall over. I should stop rocking the chair. Yeah. So the moral of the story is that working is good because you get money and you get to witness everyone else go insane. You get to witness everyone else on the planet on the edge of a personal abyss for 8 hours out of the day. It's just like, hey. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Anyway, this video's gone on for way too fucking long. I was going to talk about how I bought donuts. Dude, I want... It's everything in my power right now to not eat this. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I mean, isn't that just the most appealing thing that you've ever laid your eyes on? Look at this. I want it so badly. And like one of the things that you can do to mitigate your addictions is what you do is like if you're addicted to shitty food like donuts, okay, if you're addicted to that kind of thing, what you do is you buy a package of donuts, all right? You buy a package, like a 6-pack, and you bring it home and you set it on the table and you don't touch it, all right? You have these donuts sitting on the table. You want one so badly, you have to refuse. You have to refuse. You need to gain control over your life, okay? So you buy that pack of donuts and you let it sit there and you let it rot, okay? If it starts stinking, then that's when you throw it away, okay? But like the point is that you have to take control of it yourself, okay? And the way to do that is to purchase one, put it on your table, let it sit there in full view, in a place that you're going to walk past multiple times per day, right? Just set it there and be like, no, I'm not going to eat you. This has been Self-Help with Kamikaze Games. I'm going to go to bed and maybe I'll listen to The Stoop by Little Jackie. Little Jackie was fantastic. One album. One album by Monty Coppola. And it's great. Okay? It's good. Listen to it. I should go to bed.